No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
VigilanteWilliamson here with a very simple question, and that is, what in the world is going on with this Purple Rain musical they are talking about making? Before we get too far into it, if you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do that. We're trying to get to 800 subs by the end of the month. We're at 755. I know that's a lofty goal, but gotta have goals, gotta set goals. New year, new me, and all that other good stuff. So I don't talk about Prince a ton on this channel. Sometimes I'll talk about him doing one of my mini streams, but he's my favorite artist. Prince is my favorite artist. It's 2024, obviously, new year and all that good stuff. And that makes it the 40-year anniversary of Purple Rain, both the album and the movie, and of course the song. And they seem to be, and they meaning the powers that be, seem to be well into the production of a Purple Rain musical, a Broadway style musical. I have tons of issues with this. Firstly, the original movie in and of itself could be considered a musical, but that's not the real issue. The real issue is updated for modern audiences, that dreaded sentence that lets you know whatever franchise that's being applied to, it's gonna die. So firstly, Brandon Jacobs-Jenkins seems like an accomplished playwright. I'm not into the musical scene, so I'm not gonna lie. He didn't like the original Purple Rain. I put the article in the New Yorker that has all this stuff that I'm talking about in it. And shout out to the Violent Reality. That's the channel where I learned all this stuff. But he said it was bad. Now don't get me wrong. I get that everybody is not gonna like this 40-year-old movie about Prince. It's not everybody's cup of tea. If you're not a fan of Prince, if you're not a fan of the 80s, if you know some of the stuff is just gonna be dated, and hell, nobody in the movie practically is a professional actor. Some of the stuff is gonna be dated. Some of the dialogue is gonna be kind of goofy. I get that. That's fine. You don't have to like the movie, but if you're writing the play, why are you writing a play to a movie that you don't like? Couldn't you have given this spot to somebody who already is a fan of Prince or is a fan of his material instead of giving it to somebody who doesn't? And I know this is an often requested thing for any franchise. Hey, if you're doing a comic book movie, why don't you have people who are actually fans or at least knowledgeable on the product work on it? Why would you have people who say, you know what, I don't like this project, I don't like this property, I don't know this property, I'm gonna do the movie? That's not really that good. Don't get me wrong. You have Star Trek 2, which is often given as an example of somebody who didn't necessarily like the source material, who still made something very valuable to the source material. And that's fair enough, but it just still seems like it would be easier. And that's more of an exception than the rule, because Lord knows the past 5 or 10 years of every piece of media that has been rehashed has not been that good. It just seems that it would be easier to use people who are already very talented at whatever discipline they're doing, in this case playwriting, and already a fan of the source material on some level. Now that, if that was it, I probably wouldn't be making this video. But we got to get to the real issue, and that issue is they want to change things. If you were going to make a musical version of Purple Rain, outside of Late Minnetonka scene, or the not Late Minnetonka scene, obviously, because that wasn't Late Minnetonka, but outside of something like that, I don't see any issue with just taking the actual script and just going word for word. But they need to modernize it. There's going to be text messages, and then there's this weird thing. So apparently, and I'm going to quote the article, they're going to have Morris Day call Apollonia, who doesn't love Apollonia, a sophisticated multi-hyphenate, that's a weird word, Mama Jamma, and suggests that she has a future focusing on women's empowerment at Morris Day's media company. Anyone who's seen the original Purple Rain, for literally no reason at all, Jerome and Morris Day throw a woman in the trash.
That's enough. I want the bitch to come to me. I'm the only star in this.
What the fuck do you think I am?
Jerome.
Let go of me, you think I... Will you stop? Morris! Morris!
Such nastiness.
They are not necessarily the, you know, they're not the golden beacons of feminism by anyone's stretch of the imagination, nor are they meant to be. In fact, there were people on that set, even back then in the 80s, who said, man, that might be too much to just throw a chick in the fucking trash. But they do it in the movie anyway. And there's literally no reason other than setting these characters up as the villains to do it. And it's hilarious. And I love the scene. Hopefully I can clip it in without getting copyright struck. And then apparently Darling Nikki is going to be taken as, and then Darling Nikki, one of my, well, you know, it's not one of my favorite Prince songs. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's one of my least favorite Prince songs, even though I still like it. But Darling Nikki is going to be taken as a slut shaming of Apollonia, and the kid who is Prince's character throughout the movie is going to get canceled in this adaptation. Why? Why do you need to cancel Prince in his own product? Listen, it's the 40th anniversary. I get that you want to do something. The Prince estate has been pretty good about doing these re-releases, special edition re-releases with extra songs and extra performances, all this stuff, putting it out on vinyl and all this other good stuff. Literally, being the 40th anniversary, you can put out pretty much anything. You can put out another reissue, another special edition version of the movie, special edition version of the album, include different performances. I know they already got that Syracuse performance, I think from '85, that you'll see around on DVDs or whatever. But you can find another performance somewhere in Cincinnati, my hometown, Detroit, Houston, where I'm at, anywhere on the tour, and have a cool performance, and you will still make money off it if you want to do something to commemorate the 40th anniversary. You don't have to do this special for modern audiences version of a musical that I don't know who this is for. Is the idea that somebody who doesn't like Prince, they're supposed to see this musical and get into Prince? Because my worry is someone who doesn't necessarily like Prince, or who may not know who he is, maybe 15, 16 to 25, never really exposed to Prince as a cultural icon or his music, and never saw the original Purple Rain. They're going to see your crappy version that's updated for modern audiences. It's probably going to have a lot more modern changes. And then it's going to color their, you know, purple, get it color, purple's a color. They already just did a musical color purple that's already bombed. But it's going to color the way they feel about Prince, and now they're not going to get into Prince where they would have otherwise if they would just come across it naturally and organically. They would. I think just re-release the material with another special edition. You have millions of fans of Prince who will gladly buy physical media if you re-release it, and gladly give you money for more Prince material, even material they may already have, because he is so beloved amongst his fans. You don't have to do this. In fact, I am begging you, I am imploring you. I know I do not have the voice. I know I would be lucky if 100 people watch this whole video, and even luckier if I can clip this out and get 1,000 people to watch this whole thing as a short. But I am begging you with all the power that I have, please do not make this musical. Please do not make a modern adaptation of Purple Rain. I get, when I first heard it, my first thought was the scene where he slaps Apollonia, because it's a messed up scene. And I thought, oh man, how's that gonna be done? Y'all haven't even got to that. If you guys are gonna get Prince canceled for quote unquote slut shaming Apollonia during Darling Nikki, I can only imagine what the rest of this movie is. And this is a sad thing. Prince is somebody who pushed the boundaries of gender and gender norms and racial norms, and tried to have a band where everybody was together, and it was, you know, something that you might put in the progressive idealism back then, all for it to be ruined by quote unquote modernism and having to make this for modern audiences, even though modern audiences aren't actually the audiences who watch any of this stuff. Because clearly when you update something for modern audience, 9 times out of 10 it doesn't make money because the people don't like it. It's not really updated for modern audiences. It's updated for modern corpos who have the ownership of all these properties. So I am begging, please don't do this. Please don't do this. They're also talking about using more songs outside the Purple Rain soundtrack and outside of the stuff from the time or whatever that they use in the movie. I don't care too much about that. But just don't do it. Don't do it. Just re-release it. Do a director's cut. Do special stuff. More stuff from the vault. We always love that. There's so much you can do with Purple Rain just as a re-release for the fans. If you want to onboard new people to Purple Rain, just toss about back out on Netflix. Do a big streaming service sweep or something like that, so the people who haven't seen it can see it. But please, 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 don't do this musical. Don't do an updated version for modern audiences. It never works. If you could name me the updated for modern audience thing from the past 5 years that's worked, I would love to know. It never does. It didn't work when you used Star Wars. It didn't work when you used Ghostbusters. It didn't work when you used Terminator. It doesn't work. Stop. Please stop. We don't need to see this. We just want to see Prince and his Purple Best. So what do you guys think? Are you guys Prince fans? I know a lot of people on my channel probably are not, but I am. So I made this video, and I just hope to God somebody stops this from happening. I hope to God it doesn't see the light of day. Or if it does the minimal amount of damage it possibly can to Prince's legacy. This is why Prince was so pro ownership, so people couldn't come along and just do whatever they want with your legacy and all your hard work. But it is what it is. So if you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do that. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night and God bless. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.